Well, let me ask you this: just how does now that Tim Walz is the guy, how does he go over and like? I mean, you already have Kamala Harris flip flopping on fracking, a big issue in your
Yeah.
state. But does anyone care? Do you think in Pennsylvania when you drive around, if you say Tim Walz, are they going to be like who, or are they actually going to care that that she doubled down on leftist policies?
Then they're not going to know who he is. They're not going to care. I'm sure he'll barely be in the ads. And the only thing that he can talk about, let's face it, is taxes, excessive spending, sanctuary cities, open borders, boys playing in girls' sports.
Yep, the gender
Uh,
stuff.
I mean, I don't know who that appeals to. I don't know anybody that it does. I mean, apparently it appeals to some, but certainly not the vast majority of Pennsylvanians or Americans for that matter.
All right, so you said that regardless, we would win. Why? What you were mentioning this? What is different now that is going to put Pennsylvania in Donald Trump's column in those 19 electoral votes? Like, why? What has changed fundamentally in terms of mechanically what's going on our side, and maybe some of the laws or the interpretation of when you can vote?
Well, people are paying a little bit more attention to the fact that Biden, he's not on the ballot this time. As we know, he was forced out, quite literally. But when he came in 20, he was seen as, good old Joe. He's going to unite. He's going to calm the waters. It's going to be fine. And it was anything but. He went extreme left. I mean, he cost us all this inflation. He went after our domestic energy. He let the border be wide open. We've got all kinds of wars and conflicts and skirmishes around the world. We're just weak economically, weak national security, and weak in our international affairs. So, so there's a lot of Biden buyer's remorse, especially when it comes to gasoline and groceries. And Kamala Harris, not only does she own those policies, she brags about them. She doesn't know any better. She was talking about Bidenomics a couple of days ago. While the markets were crashing, for crying out loud. And she's all about doubling down on all of that, increased taxes. I mean, she wants to increase on capital gains taxes to say 35 to 40% on just on assets, not even on profits. So the markets will seriously crash if, in fact, they think that she could be elected. And so, that's what's changed to a large degree. But so there's no more faith in Bidenomics and Biden Harris. But what's also changed is the appreciation for President Trump, remembering his years in office, and for the work that we've done with working against ballot harvesting. And we've increased, Sean, over 350. We have 350,000 more Republicans registered compared to Democrats than we did in 2020. That's a lot. President Trump lost by 81,000. We now have over 350,000. And frankly, Josh Shapiro would have pulled some of those, even if he pulled as many as 100,000. I still think we would have won, but we don't have that problem any longer. In fact, I think people are going to be resentful in Pennsylvania to the Harris-Walz ticket.
So I know last time there were some concerns about signatures and ballots coming in after Election Day. Beyond all the stuff that you just mentioned, have there been reforms to the voting process at all?
There have been. We got the Secretary of State who I'm staying in touch with that seems to, he's actually a Republican, Al Schmidt, who we're not completely relying upon him, but I don't think he's going to do the wrong thing deliberately. Our voter rolls are more secure. We do have concerns about illegals voting. The registration, the automatic registration for those who get driver's license in Pennsylvania was a concern, but it turns out Republicans have actually registered almost 2-1 to Democrats on that. So even that little finagle manipulation change came back to backfired on them. So, which most usually liberal actions do backfire, and that one did. So we have that going for us, and I really think we just have all the Biden buyer remorse. There's nothing that people in Pennsylvania find terribly attractive about Kamala Harris based upon her record. Now she's a decent woman. There's nothing to do with that. Being from African American descent, I think is probably a positive in many ways. Frankly, and all that. Being perhaps the first woman president, if God forbid, and I mean that she were to win. And I only say that because her policies are just so un-American. I mean, they just run a roughshod over what has made our country great. It's not socialism; it's free market capitalism, and the land of opportunity, not the land of big government.
Well, if you enjoyed this content, make sure to like this video, subscribe, and click the notification bell to get more.